Up to now, we have looked into the case of the shift in the demand curve as a result of a change in the price of a related good, be it a substitute good or a complement good. Now let's consider other determinants, starting with the change in income of consumers. When household income changes, their plans to buy goods and services will change accordingly, leading to a change in demand. For instance, if a household income increases, then its purchasing power increases, leading to an increase in demand, that is, a rightward shift in the demand curve for normal goods. In exceptional cases, an increase in income for a household will lead to a decrease in demand for a good, that is, a leftward shift in the demand curve. These types of goods are called inferior goods. Kindly note that the term inferior does not mean that there is a physical problem with the good, but it only refers to the principle that as income is increasing, demand for such a product. A good example of an inferior good is bread for a poor person. That is, as the poor person starts becoming richer, he can now afford other better expensive products like buns, cornflakes, that he can substitute bread for. Therefore, bread becomes inferior. As his income increases, he tends to purchase less bread. Another factor that we're going to discuss is a change in consumer taste or preferences. When household preferences or tastes change over a specific product, the demand also change for that product. For example, when doctors discover listeria in South Africa, listeria is, in simple terms, food poisoning that resulted from contaminated processed meats. The demand for processed meat like polony fall drastically, and the demand curve for processed meats shift to the left, ceteris paribus. More so, modern advertising and fashion shared through different media platforms, mostly social media, tend to influence household or customers to change their tastes or preferences over certain products. The next factor we're going to look into is the change in population. Demand for products is dependent on the size of the population. That is, ceteris paribus, if there are more people or a large population, the demand will be greater for a product, and the reverse is true. Therefore, an increase in populations leads to an increase in demand, causing a shift of the demand curve to the right. The next two factors that we're going to look into are factors that influence demand. The first one will be a change in expected future prices. Expectations drive most consumers' behavior over specific product. That is, if you expect the price of a product to increase, we automatically increase our current demand. This is normally what happens when petrol price increase is announced to take effect by the end of the day. Most people will go and fill their cars with petrol, ceteris paribus, so that they don't incur higher costs. Similarly, if we expect the price of a product to fall, we tend to delay our purchase of the product till the fall comes into effect. Another factor we are going to look into is the income distribution. In many countries, the distribution of income is an important determinant of the composition or structure of demand in a market economy. That is, if income is more redistributed toward the poor, then ceteris paribus, goods purchased or needed by low-income households will increase, causing a rightward shift of the demand curve. That illustrates an increase in demand.